The year is 2016. It is a rainy November night in Cleveland. It's a night that will go down forever in history. The fans are going wild. Everyone is on their feet. People are chanting. Flags are waving. The tension is so thick in the air. It is Game 7 of the World Series, and after a 17-minute rain delay, the 10th inning begins. And the Cubs take a 2-run lead, but now it's the Indians' turn to see if they can turn it around in the bottom of the 10th. Will the curse continue? It has been a roller coaster ride for Cubs fans. They came back from a 2-game deficit, and now everything is riding on this inning. It is like the whole ballpark has inhaled and is waiting to exhale. The Indians score a run, closing in on the lead, but they aren't able to score again. And just like that, the longest drought in the history of American sports ends. In 108 years, the Cubs once again are World Series champs. Thousands of visiting Cubs fans scream with joy, and the crowd in Wrigleyville erupt. It is a moment of pure bliss. Fans are jumping up and down along with players. Fans are crying and high-fiving each other. And I'll also tell you, my brother is weeping on the floor when this happened. Cubs fans everywhere are waving the iconic W flag and shouting, "We did it! I can't believe we did it. I knew we were going to win. We won. We finally won." And people are getting text messages sent to them saying, "Congratulations, you guys won." And social media is being flooded by pictures and videos of Cub fans with painted red and blue faces, celebrating like they've never celebrated before with hashtags, "We are the champions. We are number one." We won. Not the Cubs won, but we won. Moving from spectator and team to we is at the very heart of being a fan. There is no us and them with the fans. It is an authentic we. This level of identification is a phenomenon demonstrated around the world. And there is research, actually, that describes this. It's the psychology of fandom. And there's a book about it, The Secret Lives of Sports Fans, by Eric Simmons. He talks about how sports fans actually consider themselves an extension of the team. It's an extension beyond themselves. The team's feelings and actions are felt just as strongly by the fan. And this merged identity builds pride and belonging and an unshakable sense of loyalty. Now, this sounds a lot like why we are all here today and what we are trying to accomplish with our customers. We want the experiences that we create for our customers to build pride, belonging, and an unshakable sense of loyalty within our customers. And it is the spirit of great players inspiring others that I want to share with you a short video about a company that prides themselves on providing their customers with the best fan experience ever. This is a company that is truly laser focused on their customers. This is a company that is getting it right.
One of the things about Fanatics that is core to our business is the fan experience. Our role is to make sure that when they do contact us, whether it's through voice, chat, or email, that we give them a really, really world-class experience.
It's not just answering the phones or taking a chat with a customer. There's a lot more that goes into it here at Fanatics than people might think. None of it is automated. It's all handheld and tailored by a customer service athlete to ensure that that customer gets the proper communication and gets a communication that it feels like it's coming from a friend.
Our goal is to ensure that no one thinks there's a robot on the other end of the phone. We ask our athletes to be themselves while trying to build rapport with our fans.
So just creating this overall great fan experience where it seemed effortless and easy to get what they needed done, but also have a great conversation in the process.
I think what might set us apart from a normal working environment is that the culture is completely sports related. and it drives us to provide the best customer experience for our customers.
I'm honored to have the privilege of having Carolyne-Matseshe Crawford, Vice President of Fan Experience at Fanatics, to join me today. Carolyn has over 26 years of experience in CX. She has been with Fanatics since June of 2017. She has made quite an impact already, improving the experience of both their employees and their customers. And Carolyn is a great driver of experience at Fanatics because she knows what it is to be a true fan, and she's even named 3 of her daughters after sports greats. Carolyn, please join me. It's so exciting to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
absolutely.
Catherine.
Yes.
It's exciting to be here.
Now, I know when I heard your story, I was extremely impressed, and I think everyone will be here too. Now, what Fanatics is doing is really creating that legendary customer experience that we've been talking about at this conference. And I think everyone here would love to really get to a similar place with their customers where they're not just customers, but they're true fans. So I would love it if you tell us all about what sets Fanatics apart from other companies and what makes this experience that you have so unique and legendary.
Well, I am super excited about the Fanatics team and what we've created. There are a couple of different things that set us apart from many other companies. The first being that we celebrate the fandom, and we are advocates of our fans. And you can see that when we talk about customer experience, we're actually talking about the fan experience. And it starts internally with our employees. Within Fanatics, our employees are also avid sports fans. And even within our culture, our contact center agents are athletes, and all of the rest of the support system that coaches them through customer success, they're all coaches. So internally, I'm a head coach, not a VP, because the VP is irrelevant. And that's part of our culture and core to us, creating those fantastic fan experiences.
And you've got some great stories. I would love to hear a little bit more about this type of memorable moments that you're creating for folks and how deep it runs within your team. It'd be great to share a few of those.
Sure. I've got 2. I think the most memorable one is we had a woman who was terminally ill, and her husband had sold off all of their assets and decided to quit his job and spend the last portion of her life taking care of her. So she wrote us a letter, and in the letter she said that because of her medical condition, she had no way of thanking her husband on his birthday for all that he had done to make her transition comfortable. And so she wanted to give him a birthday present, and she shared with us that he was a Jacksonville Jaguar fan and Miami University fan. And what was fantastic about this particular situation is when we looked at the return address information on the letter, and she was sharing she has no money, but she really, really wanted to thank him, we saw that the address was Jacksonville. So we quickly rallied our fulfillment centers, and we put together a birthday package from her to him, thanking him for everything that he'd done. And within the package, we put jersey, t-shirt, and that cap that she had asked for both the Jacksonville Jaguars and also University of Miami. And my leadership team and I gathered together, and we made a road trip. We canceled everything for the rest of the day and went by the grocery store, collected balloons, as well as they happened to have a Jacksonville Jaguar balloon. And we went to their house like the Publishers Clearinghouse people and rang the doorbell. And the husband was super surprised, and we sang happy birthday and handed him a card and our gift package of all of our Fanatics fan gear for his favorite teams, and he just stood there crying. And within their living room, she's laying in a bed, completely bedridden, and she's crying also, and she invited us in and just really wanted to say thank you. And they were so grateful that even after the fact, when she passed, he reached back out to us to share with us what a huge difference that we had made for their lives, and that he would always be a Fanatics fan because he had never expected to get the fan gear that he was hoping for someday, but was absolutely not focused on at that time.
It's just an amazing story, and quite frankly, it sounds like that's had a huge impact on you and your team as well. And we're going to talk about culture a little bit more in a moment. But one of the things that, obviously in this situation, your fans reached out to you, and in this great story, they shared what was personal to them and what they were really hoping from your organization. Because we know customers contact us in a lot of different ways, switching gears a little bit, I'm curious to know how you actually operationalize and really think about keeping all this information consistent, because that's such a personal story and you have such a great connection, but it's certainly a challenge to be able to do that. I would love to have you share more.
Sure. Oracle is key to the foundation of how we keep everything consistent. So within our fan experience operations, we use Oracle in several different ways. I think the most impactful is that we recognize that if you are a consumer on the website and you need to go to our help desks, which are on the website online, or you need to contact us, the information that you see and the information that you might receive through a contact, it needs to be consistent for that seamless customer experience. And because we're in the business of e-retail, it's super important that the fan who is interested in whatever type of apparel or hard goods that they're trying to purchase, and they go to the help desk to get any kind of information, if they have deeper questions and they contact us, our athletes in our contact centers use an Oracle knowledge base, which matches the Oracle information that we have externally so that that information remains consistent. I think the other thing that is super exciting about our team is that in using our Oracle tools, it allows our athletes to be able to talk on the phone and have the same reference information, use Oracle chat, and right there at their fingertips, there's the same reference information. If it comes across in an email, we have a great story about an Oracle employee that's here today, Angela, and she just experienced really the way that we think about our fandom and are super passionate about our fans, because she's getting ready to go to the Final Four. And she's going with her family, and she's ordered product from us. And the product that she's ordered, because of the sweetheart story of the Final Four this year with March Madness, some of the product we were able to get to her, but she let us know via an email that, listen, I'm hoping the product arrives by such and such a time because I have to catch my flights to go to San Antonio because we are going to be at that game. And of course, because of high demand, we needed to be able to reach out to her proactively and say, all of this product you should have received already, but there are these two other items that have a slight delay. We recognize that you are leaving and you're headed to San Antonio. If you can tell us where you're going to be staying, we will make sure that we get that product to you in time for the game. And Angela, you got your product, didn't you?
I think that's a great story and a way to exemplify the importance of having that one view of the customer and really understanding where they are and how you can delight them and what will help them have the most memorable experience with your product and helping them with that. In addition to that, you told me when we were getting to know each other about this whole Jersey Assurance program, and I was pretty amazed by this program, and I think that's just another great story and a great way to build fan loyalty and really understanding your customer and how their needs and preferences are going to change, and how do you keep connected with them as this sports industry changes. So I'm not, maybe not everybody knows what this program is, but I am sure that this will be probably one way you'll create some new fans here in the audience, but perhaps you could share more.
Absolutely. Jersey Assurance is a fantastic program. Get that? Fantastic. Jersey Assurance for the NBA fans, for the NHL fans, for the NFL fans, for the Major League Baseball fans, and for our Major League Soccer fans is a fantastic program where if you purchase your jersey on our Fanatics site, and let's just say, I'll use the example of Steph Curry. He's hot right now with Golden State, and you are a Steph Curry fan. And all of a sudden, Steph Curry gets traded to the Chicago Bulls. If you purchase your jersey and that trade occurs within 90 days of your purchase or retirement or etc., you can send in a claim form, which we use Oracle for this, and when you send in the claim form for jersey assurance, we will replace your jersey with the same jersey of equal value, or you can upgrade, if you choose to, of the new team that that player has gone to. So in this instance, if Steph Curry is traded to the Bulls, you've got a couple of options. You can get a Steph Curry Bulls jersey, or if you are more of a Golden State fan, you can trade that Steph Curry jersey in for another player on Golden State, which is super, super awesome. And the entire play was really, truly to improve the customer experience of our fans.
I think that's just a great way of putting the customer at the center. And I know when you shared with me, at the root was customer feedback and really finding a way to help your customers really be a fan and really a customer and a fan for life.
Yeah.
So that's just a great example and probably hopefully very inspiring for all of us. And I think another thing that you've done that's also super inspiring, you talked at the beginning about you're not a VP, you're a coach.
I'm a coach.
And you've got athletes on your team. And I always say there's just no way we can have customer success without employee success.
That's right.
So tell us more about the culture, because you came in and you've really turned this team into a new spot just based on your passion and commitment to being a fan yourself and bringing that into your culture in your company. I'm sure all of us would love to know more about what you've done.
So the most exciting part of my journey with Fanatics is I started with Fanatics in the last week of June of 2017, and there were a couple of opportunities that really jumped out to me. The first one is that I did not turn around the culture. What I saw was this amazing group of people who were super talented, major sports enthusiasts who had a strong desire to make sure that our fans were having great experiences. And there were a few things that we needed to tweak together as a team in order to change the culture. One of the things is that we changed our hiring profile, and we wanted people who were super excited about being in sports, but we're also excited about being in the service industry and serving under the umbrella of our fandom. So we changed the job description, and we started to attract people who are super excited like me. And that was the beginning of the evolution. The other thing is when you think about great fan experiences and customer experiences, in many shops, you might think of performance metrics in a way that is not necessarily based on the voice of the customer, or in our case, the voice of the fan. So from changing the hiring structure and the kind of candidate that we were bringing in, the next piece was to look at our metrics and how we were measuring our metrics, and was our perspective from the voice of the customer. So as an example, our quality metrics, when I looked at the history, our quality was in the low 70s with a goal of 76%. And instead of saying, whoa, that's really bad, I just started asking the questions about why. And part of the why is when you looked at the way we were measuring quality, it was one of these long tick sheet kind of things that said, as an athlete, you need to make sure you do this and say this and do this and say this. And so I asked this talented group of people, are these things on this checklist the things that are most important to our fans? And we all agreed that they were not, and that we needed to look at our quality from the lens of the fan and the experience that they were getting in our contacts. And by changing the lens of the way that we looked at quality and narrowing the categories that we were going to coach on down to those categories that were most important to the fan, we moved from that subpar low 70s in terms of quality across all channels to we hover in the 89-90%. And that's on phone, that's on chat, and that's also in our email channel. So that was a pretty exciting transition with the metrics to show for the change really, really fast.
Thanks for sharing that. I think the the elements that have really contributed to these performance metrics, because when you look at what you've achieved, but then you break it down and you think about changing your culture, really thinking about how your people, your team, are going to best deliver success, and really think about what they're doing every day. Even what you're doing in terms of team name and the spirit that you're creating, and then putting the customer at the center and listening to your customers. And I think it's a great example of having them actually challenge, like, are our metrics right, and are they aligned to what our customers expect of us? I mean, I think I would agree, that's like a legendary accomplishment to be able to do that. And I just really want to thank you so much for being here today to help share your story and inspire all of us on what we can be doing around creating that raving fan environment. Thank you so much for being here.
It's absolutely my pleasure and a joy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Somebody go after it. Thank you. I think there's a huge opportunity for all of us to really think about how we can create amazing customer experiences, fan experiences. And if we think about it, fans are truly with us through thick and thin. Fans are passionate about our brand. Fans become a part of our team. So as we go back to our companies, to our jobs, to our desks, my challenge to all of us is, what are you going to be doing to turn your customers into raving fans? Thank you so much. And now we're going to turn it back over to Jay. Thank you.